Hi, everyone. Dennis Speigel here. June is World Roller Coaster Appreciation Month, an entire month dedicated to the engineering, architecture, history, entertainment, and the marvels of the roller coaster. Many organizations such as ACE, American Coaster Enthusiasts, are celebrating all month on their social media sites and at various parks across the USA as they celebrate the most popular ride that was ever invented. Now, even though the groundwork for the invention of the roller coaster was laid in Europe with what was known as the Russian mountains or the hills of ice, the ride as we know it today was more fully developed in the United States. A man named LaMarcus Thompson is credited as the father of the roller coaster when he introduced a switchback railway at Coney Island in New York City in 1884. It became an immediate success, and the progression of the new and improved coasters has never really stopped since then. The early 1900s were known as the golden age of the roller coaster, when more than 2,000 were in operation. 2,000. Sadly, most of them disappeared because they were demolished when parks closed during the Great Depression and in the 1940s. After the Great Depression, as new and more modern theme parks were being developed, the coaster tended to be moved to the back burner and had to re-find its place in our more contemporary operations that were developing. For many years now, actually 50 to be exact, coasters have been back in vogue. And it was the racer at Kings Island in Cincinnati that sparked the resurgence of roller coaster development. Let me share the backstory to this fact. Did you know that when Disneyland opened in 1955 and Six Flags Over Texas in 1961, neither opened with roller coasters? Kind of hard to believe, isn't it? At that time, our fledgling industry felt that roller coasters had become passé and beneath the renaissance of the new theme parks that were being created. Back in the late 60s and early 70s, a team of us working at Coney Island under Gary Walks here in Cincinnati were responsible for the planning and development of a new park, Kings Island, a highly successful park that just is celebrating its 50th year this season. We decided that based on the wonderful history of our Coney Island Park here in Cincinnati and the great success we'd had with the world famous Shooting Star, Wildcat, and children's teddy bear coasters, we would fight the tide and the industry, know-it-alls, and launch the resurgence of the modern day coaster. I'll bet that many people do not know that the racer we built at Kings Island in 1972 was the first wooden roller coaster to be built since 1947. We brought back John Allen of the Philadelphia Toboggan Company, a roller coaster genius, to design the racer, and all he used was a slide rule. Remember, there were no computers at that time. Now, interestingly enough, Six Flags, which was the new major park developer at the time, and having opened in Texas in 61, Georgia 67, and St. Louis in 71, 3 parks, still had no roller coasters. They did not believe in them at that time. But when they came to visit us at Kings Island to see the racer and saw the enormous success, the enormous lines and popularity of the coaster, that's when Six Flags decided to add them to their lineup of rides. We actually helped Six Flags with their first coaster, the Great American Scream Machine in Georgia back in 1973. John Allen had retired, and we sent our team of pros to help them with their first roller coaster since they'd been so good in sharing information with us during the planning of Kings Island. So after our success at Kings Island, and once Six Flags began adding coasters to their lineup of rides, the Cedar Fair Company got into the act as well. And they still continue to lead the way in roller coaster development. I recall back in 2006, it was a strange year. Six Flags added the King to Caw coaster, which was the longest, fastest, highest coaster, as I recall at that time, which set them back by about $24 million. They were putting in that tallest, fastest coaster in the industry, but they really saw no growth in attendance that year. Because of the coaster frenzy at the time, people were kind of tired of the longest, highest, and the fastest. They voted with their feet, and they voted at the front gate. Now, coasters do have significant impact. Parks still have to spread capital through the various demographic segments, addressing things important to families, teens, seniors, and children. And this could be the tallest coaster, it could be the flat rides or the water rides, or the entire new lands or even infrastructure and facility upkeep that we need because of our aging parks. That example notwithstanding, coasters still remain the staple of our business, and they always will. Certainly, coasters' costs have escalated tremendously since we opened the racer back in 1972 at a cost of $1.2 million. Today, while many smaller coasters could be in the $1 to $3 million range, the average is roughly $8 million, and a large coaster can set back a park $30 to $60 million or even more. Depends on what they want it to do and how long and high they want it to be. Here are a few recent examples. Our friends at Premier Rides provided the icebreaker at SeaWorld Orlando for $8.2 million, which just opened in February. Martin Vlemix out of Canada, their Leviathan at SeaWorld Australia, a wooden coaster, cost $20 million and is set to open in September of this season. At Kings Island, the Orion coaster, which opened in 2020, was built by B&M and cost an estimated $30 million. Great Coaster's Wicker Man at Alton Towers in Europe, also a wooden coaster that opened in 2018, was somewhere around 22 to 23 million. And of course, we can't go without mentioning Disney's Guardians of the Galaxy at a cost approximating somewhere around $500 million. So today, as we celebrate the coaster, we see all kinds: stand-up coasters, floorless coasters, inverted coasters, suspended coasters, launch coasters, and recently a full circle comeback again of the wooden coaster. So, as I have said for many years, in our industry, coaster is king. And I believe it always will be the king of our product offerings. So this month, June 2022, let's celebrate and honor the many exciting, memorable coasters that have such a tremendous impact on the success of our industry. Be sure to get out there this summer and get to riding. Come to Cincinnati and ride my favorite, the Beast.